Hi there. Over the last 21 years, we have written sales copy that has done over $100 million in sales. And the one thing that I have learned is that if you can write sales copy effectively, you will never struggle to get sales in your business. My name is Jeremiah Krakowski, and I've spent my entire career working with coaches, mentors, trainers, people that create courses. Back then we did CD and DVD products, and everything boils down to the sales copy, the written words that get people to take action when they see a page on the internet. Anytime you visit a page on the internet, there are words that speak to the mind of the prospect as to what they are buying into. And if you can learn how to effectively write sales copy the right way, you will never wonder where your next sale is going to come from, okay? And so, again, just a little bit about me. I've been doing this for a long time. I've built multiple businesses, mentored thousands of people on how to create 6 and 7-figure success, and my businesses have done over $10 to $20 million per year in profit in this space and industry. And so I want to break down for you what those best strategies are that actually work, that you can do, that you can take from this video, that are repeatable, that are duplicatable. And here's the thing, I'm going to be teaching you stuff that you will not hear anywhere else. Promise you that. I will be showing you some techniques that may go against what you think are normal. But can I tell you this, that by the end of this video, if you follow along, if you stay engaged, you will have the blueprint to writing 8 and 9-figure sales copy for you. I'm going to show you when to use artificial intelligence, which honestly I would not recommend you do or rely on. And I'm going to tell you why that is. I'm also going to show you the right way and the wrong way to write sales copy that actually works, okay? One thing that I want to say, you might have seen in the thumbnail, I had this book, The Ultimate Sales Letter by Dan Kennedy. And Dan Kennedy is a legend in the online marketing space. Magnetic marketing, his No BS Inner Circle. You can see right here, here's Dan talking, speaking right over here. He carries an incredible energy about him when he speaks and teaches, but he has written hundreds of millions of dollars in sales copy, and I would highly recommend plugging into any of his content, his books on YouTube. He's kind of like the grandfather, the old grandfather, of this industry. And his methods still work, and they are not on trial to this day. Even Why Advertising Fails, this book that I have here in my hand, The Ultimate Sales Letter, it's worth the read. This alone has hundreds of millions of dollars in sales copywriting tactics and techniques. And I borrow from, more often than not, the very first chapter of what he calls the Kennedy system in this book and what I help people do. What I have done, though, is I have established and built my own methodologies for writing sales copy over the years that I want to pass on to you. If I can impart these to you, you can get the same results that I have and that my clients have as well. But I'm going to challenge you with this. As I start teaching this, as I start sharing these techniques with you, you may be tempted to disassociate, to check out, to get distracted, to look at your phone, to scroll social media. You might think that what I'm talking about isn't relevant to you, or it may even challenge beliefs about what you think is okay, ethical, and even moral integrity when it comes to writing sales copy. And if that bothers you, I would recommend that you don't watch the rest of this video. But I think if you can listen to strategies that work, which, by the way, I'm going to tell you this, I believe the way that I've modified a lot of the system has the highest level of integrity, the highest level of ethics, the highest level of morals. But when I've worked with thousands of people over the years, I found that not everybody feels comfortable, especially when people come into my coaching program where I coach people every single week on how to create sales copy, advertising campaigns. That's exactly what I do over at my website, jeremiahkrakowski.com. In my Client Growth Accelerator program, you can find the waiting list over here at jeremiahkrakowski.com as I work with you through establishing and implementing these strategies. What you're going to find here on YouTube, if you subscribe to this channel, if you follow what I'm doing, you're going to find where I'm going to be giving you 1 or 2 of the key strategies that have gotten my clients the most success absolutely free here. And so what this is, this video, It's basically going to be a masterclass for you that you can go through, that you can watch, and I would recommend many of you, you're going to repeatedly watch this video. You're going to turn it on maybe even once or twice a week when you're in the middle of writing your sales copy. You're going to bookmark this video and save it to be able to do that, okay? So I want to dive right into the methodology that I use for writing sales copy. And the best way that I do to write sales copy is it always starts with a shower. You might be like, what the heck are you talking about? It starts with going through a routine, brushing my teeth, making my bed, maybe picking up a few things around my house, taking a shower. And can I tell you this? That I used to be resistant to doing this. And this is one of those things that if you can spend maybe 20, 30 minutes in a routine before you go into writing sales copy of picking up a few things around your house, stuff like that, it will start to organize your ideas. And so here's what I recommend is to spend that time simultaneously setting your intention for what you are going to write sales copy about, okay? So while I'm doing the dishes, while I might be picking up my kitchen, cleaning up my office, while I might be brushing my teeth, taking a shower, maybe scrubbing a toilet or two, something like that, for about 20 to 30 minutes, I'm going to be thinking intentionally about the outcome that I want from this sales copy. I get a vision in my mind for who I'm writing the sales copy for and what I want to project and portray. Okay? And so when you're writing sales copy, what it actually is, and this is why it's different than any other form of writing. It's different than technical writing. It's different than writing a novel. It's different than writing emails or social media content or descriptions of posts. Sales copy is about energy transfer. Okay? Don't check out here. This isn't woo-woo, by the way, because I'm going to prove this to you in about 2 minutes. Words and visuals have the ability to create images inside of people's minds. How many of you have ever read a fiction novel before, right? I got a couple of them here over on my shelf. We got the Chronicles of Narnia right here, okay? We have, what's another one right here? I have Piercing the Darkness by Frank Peretti right here. This is a novel that's written. It's a crazy journey that the author takes you into the experience with them. Okay? And you might see even behind me the video games that I have and things like this. And again, listen, I'm gonna say this. Don't check out, please. You may be challenged to ignore what I am about to say because it doesn't sound like what everybody else teaches. Okay? I need you to pay attention to this. Proper sales copy creates images in the mind of the person that you are writing the copy towards. And the image in their mind is this: the full entire experience that they will feel emotionally after they buy from you. I'm going to say that again. Your sales copy is for one purpose and one purpose only: to impart vision and ideas about, in their mind, what they will experience after they purchase from you. But they have not bought anything from you yet. They're just imagining it. So correct sales copy stimulates the imagination to the same level that a best-selling novelist will. It stimulates the imagination the same way that an expert film director would, but what you are doing is you are writing a film and a movie on the mind of those that you are writing sales copy to. And the heart, you are triggering the heart of those who you write sales copy to. Can I tell you this? Words have the power to trigger feelings, right? If you think about a death in your family, that triggers sadness. I don't want you to go there mentally. Let's not go there. But what if I talk about the powerful, amazing things that you can do when you write sales copy and the ability to only have to work 5 to 10 hours a week and still be able to make $500,000, $1 million in a business, or even heck, $5,000 in a business without burning yourself out. And the fact that, listen, most people are programmed against this through corporate America. And that what you have to learn how to do is you have to learn how to rewire your habits and gain new skills in order to do this, which is exactly what we help people do in my accelerator program, as well as on my YouTube channel right here. Okay, but I want to pause here. I'm going to pull back the curtain. Again, don't check out from what I'm teaching. Don't turn off your brain. Don't disassociate. What I might be sharing with you right now may trigger you to disassociate and shut down because it doesn't sound like what everybody else is saying, but it is what works. Okay? You have to learn to write sales copy in a way that triggers positive emotions. And one of the best ways that I use to start writing sales copy is I might do stuff around my house. I might go for a walk around my neighborhood, and I will start speaking out of my mouth ideas for what I want to sell. I will start verbalizing these things. And then if I verbalize it and I really like it and I like what I said, and this is the powerful part about it that I need you to pay attention to. I need you to understand this. Because we all have things that do this for us, but oftentimes in our business, it's nearly impossible for people because of how they have been wired by their life experiences, okay? This is not a mindset or a woo-woo strategy. This is practical. And this is exactly what the best copywriters in history have been able to do. Sales copywriting is about triggering emotions in people that also get validated by logic. So you end up triggering and firing in the brain both the emotional centers and the logical centers at the same time, to where what it does is it convinces the brain of the person that you're writing sales copy to, your target customer, that what is written in the copy is both factual as well as it will work for them and it feels really good. And it excites the senses to where it becomes irresistible to them to do something, to take action. Okay? So again, focus here. You have to learn how to communicate in a way that is irresistible to your target client. You have to learn how to communicate in a way that is so enticing that it is mouth-watering. It's like if I go out there and I find an apple that's a red, juicy apple, and I bite into it and it starts dripping the juices that come out of it, and it just tastes so sweet and good. How many of y'all want one of those apples right now? And then if I take that apple and I start to create a crust and I bake it into an apple pie and we start cooking that apple pie and it fills the house with a smell of the apple pie, and we got a little bit of whipped cream and some ice cream, and we take that apple pie. Listen, some of y'all might hate apple pie, and you might be nauseated by what I'm saying right now. I apologize if that's the case. I can't speak for everybody, okay? But whatever your flavor is, all right? Think about that. Whatever your favorite food is. Maybe you enjoy eating a kale salad with some pecans and some cranberries and some chicken breast, right? Okay? I think that tastes pretty good as well. I think it's amazing. And you put some nice raspberry vinaigrette dressing on there and you bite into it and it just lights up the senses. A little bit of pepper on top of there, right? Maybe a little bit of some salsa, Mexican food. Love that, right? Okay? So your sales copy has to excite the senses through written word. And most people have no clue how to do that. They have no idea how. They don't know how to use the words that they write to create images in people's minds that let them feel certain things. But can I tell you this? Have you ever read a novel? Or have you ever seen a product in a TV commercial? Or have you ever gone to a restaurant and seen on the menu something that just excited, like you just felt something? It just pulled you and you had to have it. Right? This happens in dating, by the way. You see a beautiful woman or a handsome man that you want to connect with. And then you end up talking with them, and literally the communication and the conversation just excites you to no end. That you want to get to know them deeper, and you want to go in for a kiss, and we'll end the conversation there, right? That is what good sales copy does. But it does it translated for what you are selling to people, okay? So what you have to do is you have to start to understand what motivates people to take action. What are they moving away from? Moving away from pain towards pleasure. And your sales copy needs to get very, very specific about the dream, desire, and dare I say it because it's a bit of a controversial word right here, the fantasy that they fantasize about in their mind of what they wish reality was that they're not experiencing right now. Okay? So you have to learn how to write specifically words that tap into the dreams and desires they have that create a vision, a fantastical fantasy vision that they will say, I have to have that. I must have it. When you're reading a book, this book is actually identified as a fantasy novel. Okay? So this is a great example of this. I think the Chronicles of Narnia is a great example of this because it is both fantasy and yet it is, by most considerations, G-rated content. It's not anything that you wouldn't want your kids reading. It shows the battles between good and evil. It says right here, in a world of fantastical creatures. Okay? And so this is a fantasy that creates a fantasy world in the mind through written words. So effective sales copy does the same thing that a book like that would do. That a book like this would do. This would be considered more of a spiritual, quasi-scientific, science fiction fantasy. Right here. I have a novel series that I'm reading right now called The Three Body Problem. And the second book is called The Dark Forest right here. This is a fantastical science fiction universe that it invites you into. Creates a vision in your mind of what those things are. Okay? What does a video game do? I have a couple of my favorite fantasy video game books right here. We have The Legend of Zelda right here. Takes you into an immersive world where you get to fight fantastical creatures and you get to be the hero in these adventures. You get to go right into a portal, into a world that most people may have never experienced before. And I've been playing the Zelda games since I was younger, the Nintendo 64 right here, my friends. I even have literally the first Zelda game right here. This is the first one that ever came out for the old Nintendo systems. It's a fantasy world that you can dive into and go on an adventure on. Some of you might be shutting down right now as I'm sharing this. Here's another one. It's called Skyrim right here. It's a It's another incredible world that you can go into in a video game. Don't shut down with what I'm talking about here. Okay? Because this has everything to do with you writing effective sales copy. Is that when you can learn how to tell a story in a way that triggers the mind of a buyer to get them to take action that is specific, it taps into their dream, desires, and fantasy, and you write those words down, your sales copy becomes 1,000 times more effective than your closest competitor. Now, here's the thing. This is why I don't like using AI for this. I like using AI to brainstorm. I think ChatGPT, and I actually have been using Google Gemini Advanced. I find Google Gemini Advanced, as of the time of this recording, is actually one of the better AIs for doing this. It helps trigger my own brain with ideas that I could write in sales copy. But here's the number one way that I actually use to write sales copy that is effective. And I have a method that I actually walk through. Remember, I mentioned that I will start cleaning up my house, picking up my house, doing all this. The next stage that I have is I enter into my own fantastical world. And I do this, some of you might be wondering why I have a science fiction novel here, or I have video games. I might read a chapter of this book for 5 to 10 minutes. This is literally, listen, don't check out here. Don't ignore what I'm about to say. Pay attention to what I'm about to say. For most every aspect of business, I would not give you this advice. Discipline. To not distract yourself and be entertained and check out your brain is important to both your reputation in business as well as the ability to make money in business. And that is an irrefutable fact. But there is something else that I believe is why most business owners struggle to write sales copy. And it's a secret of every good sales copywriter that I have ever met. Is they have some sort of fictional, fantastical entertainment experience that they tap into. So what I do is I will start with the discipline, cleaning up my house, organizing things, brushing my teeth, making my bed. And then, just like I did when I was a kid, now that I did all my chores, quote unquote, I go out there and I play a little bit for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Not a lot of time, by the way. 10 to 15 minutes is not enough time to completely distract you from the things that you need to do. But I can tell you this, is that the very best sales copy ideas that I've ever gotten have come out of these experiences. When I might be reading a novel or playing a video game for about 5 to 10, maybe 15 minutes. I might watch an episode of a TV show on Netflix with the intention of actually removing my focus that I just spent the last 30 minutes doing, okay? So let me map this out for you. Let me draw this out for you so this makes sense. I'm going to start with $20 to $30 minutes of chores stuff, okay? Then I'm going to go to 10 to 15 minutes of entertainment. Mindless entertainment. 10 to 15 minutes. Now in this, I set my intention for the sales copy that I want to write, okay? The 20 to 30 minutes. I start thinking about the prospect and what I want to accomplish and the things like that. During this time, I disconnect. And I really zone in and focus, and I learn to let go of all the thoughts that are going through my head. Because what ends up happening is oftentimes we end up focusing way too hard. And you can also learn meditation exercises to do this. I find that entertainment actually can work faster than a meditation. So what I do is I learn to zone in on the virtual world that I might be reading about in a book. I might zone in on the virtual world that I'm playing in a video game. I might even play a sports video game. Last night I played a hockey video game that I love. We got this Sega Genesis NHL 94 right here. 1994. This is a game that I played for years when I was younger. And it gets me right back into that childlike, about 6 to 8, 10 years old state of mind. And so this is something that I encourage people to do. What are some of the things that you can do during this time right here? I want you to think back to when you were between the ages of about 6 to 12 years old, right before a lot of the hormones with puberty took over. Literally. What were the things that you did for fun after you did your chores or schoolwork during that time? Do those things. I will literally play the same video games I played at that time. Like the exact games that I played when I was younger, because it gets me into a state of mind where I don't have worries, where I don't have these fears, and I don't have the bills hanging over me. But I only do it for about 10 to 15 minutes. That's about how long it takes. Otherwise, we really start disassociating, and then that becomes toxic, and that becomes dangerous, and that becomes what we want to be careful of. So now, what I'll do is when I notice that I'm fully zoned in on the game, this is what I've disciplined myself to do, is I turn the game off. And I open up my computer. And generally what I've liked to do recently is I'll open up YouTube. And I'll open up Facebook. Not for the intention of scrolling mindlessly on those platforms. By the way, scrolling social media could be another thing that you can do for this. You could scroll social media for 10 to 15 minutes. Sometimes I do that as well. But what you're looking for is you want to find similar content on YouTube to what you are about to sell to people, as well as similar offers on Facebook that you want to sell to people. So what I will do is I will start scrolling through YouTube and social media and Facebook, and I will find content that is similar to what I want to share with people, that I want to show to people, that I want to express to people. Okay? So like if I go over to YouTube right here on my computer, you can see I was actually writing some sales copy for a client yesterday, and I pulled up, they were doing a live event that was a music event, and I actually pulled up some live music events while I was writing sales copy. And then I went over to Tony Robbins, and I started watching Tony Robbins' latest training that he literally just did last week. I had this playing in the background while I was writing the sales copy. It got me into the state of mind. I had it muted, by the way. I wasn't listening to the content. I was just watching it. And it got me into the state of mind and the thinking and the thought process that I wanted to get into that could get me aligned right with what was going to have the best sales copy come out of me. Okay? And so what I'm doing is I'm not necessarily disassociating with that. So the third stage is I'll go over to YouTube, and generally I like using Facebook. Facebook and YouTube I find are the two best for doing this. As I'll go to YouTube and I'll watch some content on a certain topic, and then I'll go over to Facebook and I'll start looking at which advertising campaigns are being advertised to me. Which products are being advertised to me? Are they competitors? We'll start clicking on certain landing pages and offers, okay? And what I do is I end up copying all of the sales copy from various landing pages and offers that I find. I have no clue who this is. I literally just clicked the first ad that I saw, clicked on it. Okay, let's scroll down. Let's go find another one. Here's another landing page. And I'll copy these over some different advertising campaigns to give me ideas for sales copy, to create what is called a swipe file, okay? So again, this is my process for writing exceptional sales copy, as I will create a swipe file by pulling ideas from other people that are teaching similar content to me. I might even take a YouTube video that they created that is very similar to what I want to sell, and then I can find the pieces of it and bring that into the artificial intelligence. And then I will start to brainstorm with the AI on what the pain points are of the prospect. What are they struggling with? I'll have it generate the epiphany bridge. And this is where we go into the part of the Ultimate Sales Letter book by Dan Kennedy that he talks about that you really, really want to understand about who you are selling to. Is you want to dive deeper into the negative experiences of the people that you are selling to. Okay? If I'm going way too fast through this, let's just back up here and recap what I just shared. Okay? I'll start with the intention of what I want to create a sales letter with. Chores. 10 to 15 minutes of disconnection and entertainment, okay? Disconnects the mind. I might even throw in a 5-minute meditation at the end of this. That's optional. Recently, I've stopped doing that. Don't need to. Then I'll go to YouTube and Facebook, and I'll start finding, whether it be Facebook groups, I'll start finding YouTubers that have a similar vibe that I'm trying to get out there. They make me feel the way that I want to on YouTube that I'm expressing. So I might find some of my even top competitors or people that I might strive to be like. I'll literally watch Dan Kennedy, Russell Brunson. I'll watch Alex Hormozy. I'll watch, I love her. How many of y'all know who Jasmine Star is as well? Jasmine Star is just incredible when it comes to her content that she teaches. Yesterday, I was struggling to write sales copy, and I hope one day, I know some people that I have mutual friends with her. I watched this video, and I watched about half of it, and it literally inspired me seeing her confidence throughout the journey of launching her sales copy right here. I wasn't even necessarily paying attention to what she was saying. I was just listening to her energy and the cadence and the confidence and the tone that she was talking about. The confidence in what look at, she is just an icon of confidence. So you can't deny that, right? You know, I told my wife the other day, I was like, I want to be like Jasmine Star when I grow up, but, you know, in Jeremiah Krakowski level of confidence. I obviously, you know, don't look like her, but if that makes sense. But what that was I was able to borrow from the energy of other mentors that are successful, influencers, millionaire mentors, $100 million mentors that are out there, to get a vibe for their energy over here. And then I go over to Facebook, because I advertise on Facebook. I want you to think about, where are you advertising? Where are you marketing? Where do your prospects exist? Where do they live? Okay? And so for me, that's Facebook. And I will start scrolling through the news feed looking for content that is relevant to what I am trying to sell. Let's say I'm trying to sell people on how to create exceptional ads and write ads copy. I'm going to click on ads from people that are selling other classes related to ads, okay? And you might be thinking, Jeremiah, so what you're doing is you're just copying other people? You just don't have enough original ideas yourself, that you just got to jack other people's ideas? No, not at all. What I'm doing is I am stimulating and triggering my own mind after going through this exercise. Because what I've done is I've set my intention while doing some hard things. Then I entertain myself over here to disconnect. And then I go back to my intention. I get the energy off of the YouTube videos that I watch. And then I scroll Facebook and I find offers from different competitors that are out there that might be marketing to me. And let's say I don't see their offers on social media. You want to know what I can do? I can go to their pages on social media and I can find what they are advertising. So let's say that I might look at, let's say Jasmine Star, for instance, right here. Let's just use her as an example, because she's really incredible, and she's got a lot of great different offers and stuff that she's doing. I don't even know if she's marketing anything, but you can go to any page on social media and click on page transparency, and see which ads they are running by going to the ad library. So while she's not running any ads right now, I can see the previous ads that she was running, okay? So I can see these are ads that Jasmine was running. I can click on them and I can start to find sales letters and sales copy that is in the same vibe that I was watching over here, okay? I might go over and find a sales letter from Dan Kennedy right here. Let's click on Dan Kennedy. Let's type this in. Magnetic marketing. Okay. Let's go to magnetic marketing right here. Let's see if they're running ads to this. Russell Brunson purchased this. They are running ads. So let's see which ads magnetic marketing is running. Okay. I can go to the ads library and I can find which ads they are running. Direct response marketing and sales copywriting ads. We're going to click on an ad and we're going to see the landing page that they're sending people to. So you can literally swipe and create a swipe file of the very best headlines and sales copy from some of the best marketers and see what their landing pages look like and their structure by going to the ads library and finding the sales copy and finding the language and the structure of how the landing page is structured and written. Okay? So then what I'll do is I will copy not necessarily the whole landing page, but sometimes I will. I'll copy the whole landing page from multiple different competitors and stuff like that, and then I will start reading through the sales copy. I'll start finding what are headlines that draw me in, that are relevant to what I might be sharing with my prospects, that I might be teaching. And then I bring that into artificial intelligence and I start brainstorming and asking it questions about the mentality of the prospect from here. What keeps them awake at night? The prospect that I'm trying to sell to. The people that these other sales letters are written towards. I will borrow from those ideas. Okay? What are they afraid of? What are they angry about? What are their top 3 daily frustrations? What trends are occurring in their life? What do they secretly and ardently desire? What is their built-in bias? Do they have their own language? Are they selling something similar? What have they tried before and failed? And when you can start to understand this, you start to get into the mind of your target prospect. So what I am doing is I am bringing all of this together. I bring my swipe file and I open up the #1 sales copywriting tool that I have is either I'll open up Apple Notes on my computer or I'll open up a Google Doc. And this is where every sales letter starts. And I will just start writing the ideas that come to mind about how I would express my business to people, about how I would write headlines. I might be asking ChatGPT to write me certain headlines. By the way, one of my favorite prompts to ChatGPT is write a headline in the tone of Dan Kennedy, Sandy Krakowski, which is my mom, who is an expert copywriter for years, who was also mentored by Dan Kennedy, and Russell Brunson, and bring all of those together to create a sales letter, to write headlines, to create a storytelling aspect, to generate what are the pain points, what is the struggle, what is the unique selling proposition, to create attention, interest, desire, action sales copy called ADA, to create PAS sales copy, problem, agitate, solution. We want to agitate the problem that the prospect is having and point to the fact that we have a solution. And all of this wrapped up and brought together creates words that transfer a vision of who you are. It builds trust with the prospect, what they will experience after they buy from you, and it will lead them mentally along a journey in their mind that the only logical best decision to make is to make a purchase with you. And that's what you need to learn how to do, is you need to learn how to communicate in a way that excites people, that draws them into that. But you will only understand that when you understand what their pain is, what they're struggling with, what they're trying to run away from, the overwhelm, the fear, the worry. And how many of y'all, after I've mentioned this, you're watching this, you're like, Jeremiah, I feel overwhelmed by doing this process. That's what I hear from a lot of people because they've never done this before. This is why I say to break down. Just start with, before you write sales copy, go do something fun. Get into a playful state of mind. Start watching some YouTube videos. Start looking at other sales letters and create a swipe file. Start signing up on email lists for other people that are other marketers in your industry and start seeing which emails that they're sending to you. Did you know that some of the best offers in sales copy are not ran in ads, but they're in follow-up emails after you sign up for the ad? Meaning, I might find a landing page right here for an event that I can sign up for with my email address, but the follow-up email that they send me 2 weeks later actually has some of the best sales copy that I might be able to borrow from for my offer or my industry. We have to get past this need to have to reinvent the wheel. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. There is enough people and marketers and people out there that have spent hundreds of millions of dollars in sales copywriting and marketers and advertising to create these campaigns that you can borrow those ideas, not to copy, but to stimulate your mind for your own ideas. And when you can learn how to do this, when you can learn how to stimulate your mind to write a story, and you want to write a story just like these other sales letters that we're finding. Every sales letter has a story. 21 elite marketers shared direct response strategy that produced the biggest bang for their buck. You've tried all this is storytelling. This is telling a story of what the prospect wants. Right here. This is a story of what they will experience on the other side of signing up for this offer. So when you can learn to tell the story that creates a vision, and you can also use photos and visuals and video to do this as well, and you bring all of this in a way that excites the senses of the prospect, they will find it nearly impossible to say no to whatever it is that you have to offer. Now, this is not something that generally people learn overnight. It takes time. And one of the best ways to learn this is to have somebody that has been doing it a while work with you to show you exactly what that is. And that's exactly what we do in my Client Growth Accelerator program, as I work with my clients every week on their sales copy to write it. I help rewrite it. We do ad copy hot seats. We do sales page hot seats. We work with you through critiquing and looking at your sales copy. You can literally any day of the week post it inside of our community and have us give feedback with where your copy is, because it's the number one thing that influences if your sales are going to grow. And I think that that's where one of the truest values is having the support as well as the accountability. You know, listen, going along this process, you will find that you're going to want to get distracted. People want to give up. It's going to get hard. Things might not always go how you want them to. When you have somebody like myself in your corner working with you every single week to tweak things, you're not going to get it the first time. That's okay. You're not supposed to. Not everybody does. It's better to actually go about this in a relaxed manner, in a manner that feels really good, that's peaceful. And one of the biggest things that I love to impart in my clients, they always say, is clarity, breakthrough, and inner peace about the actions that they're taking. Not just a false sense of peace, but true peace, because they know that when they work with me, they get the best results. And so again, I would encourage you, if you're watching this video still, join the waiting list for my Client Growth Accelerator, that when we do open the doors to this, the next time we do, at the time of this recording, it's about $200 a month to be in there. For $200 a month, it can generate you $200,000 a month, or $2,000 a month, or $20,000 a month. Like a lot of the clients that we've worked with, whichever level of income that you want to make, I can help get you there. And I'd love to work with you to get the clarity and the focus and dial in your messaging and your sales copy to start to make things work with you, so that you're not struggling on your own, so that you get to have me a part of your team, so that I get to join your team and work with you and be a part of your long-term success strategy. I'd love to be a part of that with you. Jump on the waiting list for the accelerator. And listen, if this video has helped you, share it with somebody and let me know in the comments what as well you would like to see some future videos from me. Maybe this has inspired some ideas with you. Maybe you got some concerns. Maybe you got some worries. Maybe you got some stuff that you're not quite sure about that I've shared here today. Leave in the comments below, and I'd love to answer those with you and maybe make another video that unpacks those ideas with you. But what I just shared with you today, I believe, will help you create the best sales copy and get started on your journey. By the way, I have a free gift as well. I didn't mention it at the beginning of the video because I'm glad that you got to the end here. If you actually go over to my website, over at jeremiahkrakowski.com, I have a link, at least at the time of this recording. Free ChatGPT prompt download. It's at jeremiahkrakowski.com/ChatGPT. That link will still usually work. Okay? If this video is like 5 years from now and ChatGPT is not a thing, whatever the latest thing is, you'll find it on my website. You can sign up, and it's a Google Doc that you can get access to. And this Google Doc has my #1 sales copy prompts that we have developed that have generated 8 figures to write sales copy. It has ChatGPT list out the pain points, the epiphany bridge right here, how to find what is the solutions that people are looking for. You can find the link as well below in the description. The outcome generator, it'll walk you through generating the outcome that you're trying to impart to people. These are prompts that you can paste into ChatGPT to generate sales copy that will work for you. This will be a great starting phase for you, not to necessarily create the copy that you're going to put on your landing page that's going to work. So a lot of people are becoming very savvy to what's AI generated and what's not, but it will inspire your own mind in the right direction. That's going to create the best copy that converts. And so go grab that. It's totally free. It's over at my website, and I think it'll really help you. We've had thousands of people download it, and they've said it's the best. Okay? So listen, thanks for watching this. Love to see you in my accelerator program here when we do open the doors next, when we open up the waiting list. I'll see you on our next video. We'll talk soon.